All right, it is 3:02 p.m. I'm going to call to order the Pollyant Trailway Management Council meeting for Wednesday, May 17, 2023. Pay respects to the flag, and if you'll lead us into invocation, Vice Chair Brakefield after the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Dear Lord, thank you for finally bringing the warmer weather to us so we can get out and enjoy the benefits of the trail. We want to thank all the mothers that recently celebrated their special day and pray to God blesses you during that time. Thank you for our management commission, our manager, and the participating communities. Give us wisdom to make the right decision for the trail. Please give us peace and love as we continue to do your work, especially to our host community, Addison Township. In this we pray, amen.
Thank you. Okay, we'll do a roll call. Secretary McDonald, attendance.
Vice Chair Ed Brakefield, Bruce Pearson, Matt Pfeiffer, Aaron Watley,
Here.
Chair Curtis Wright,
Here.
Jonathan Nold,
Here.
Mike McDonald here, Allison Kemp. And we'll note for the record that Linda Moran is present. Kevin Green was excused. He informed us he wouldn't be available.
Correct. Okay, we do have a quorum. So with that, we'll go down to our agenda for the approval of the agenda. Any additions to the agenda?
I'll move to approve the consent agenda as presented.
Are we on the consent or just the agenda?
Just regular agenda.
Oh,
I'll second.
Okay, I have a motion by Councilor Wiley, second by Vice Chair Brakefield to approve the agenda as presented. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, the motion carries on to consent agenda. Consent agenda is approval of the April 19, 2023 meeting minutes, treasurer's report for the bills, the financial reports, and the trail manager report for May of 2023. Any questions on the minutes, bills, financial reports, or the trail manager report?
Not, I'll make a motion to approve the consent agenda.
second.
Okay, motion by Vice Chair Brakefield, second by Councilor Knoll to approve the consent agenda, including the April 19, 2023 meeting minutes, approval of the bills in the amount of $10,563.91 for April 2023, financial reports for April 2023, and the trail manager report for May of 2023. Any further questions or comments? If not, Secretary McDonald, please call the roll.
Mr. Brakefield,
Yes?
Mr. Watley,
Yes?
Mr. Wright,
Yes.
Mr. Nold,
Yes.
McDonald, yes. Motion carries.
Okay, very good. Any public comment? No public comment? Okay, we're moving on to the citizen rep report. As indicated earlier, Representative Green is absent, was excused, so it's no report there. We'll move on to unfinished business, a website committee update. I guess Trail Manager Moran, I'll leave it up to you to give us an update. What's going on?
I was in contact, I called, I talked to James last week, I sent him an email, I believe I copied Curtis, Mike, and Aaron on it, asking if he needed any updated information. They were good to go, we should have something shortly. He said the end of June, and I said June? He said, no, I mean May. I said, okay. So hopefully, by the June meeting, we'll have something up and rolling. But I keep confirming that he doesn't need anything from us, and they're in the process of building. So we're just waiting. They have all the photos, they have all the minutes, they have all the updated policies and different things that we're doing right now. So it's just putting it together.
Are we in a position to present this at our June meeting?
I hope so. So I'll keep you posted by the end of May, first week of June, we'll know.
Because we have cameras at Oxford. I don't know if that meets the issues we faced in the village of Oxford, whether that we'll be able to accommodate that for a presentation or not. One other thought, is there some way on there that we could recognize our donors
Yes.
on that?
Put a whole page of whatever we wanted on there.
Yeah.
Donors, grants that we've received, which I'd like to have a grants page, because now we're starting to get a lot of grants. Yay. So, just different things that we're doing. Upcoming plans, that sort of thing. It would be kind of nice to know where we've been and where we're going.
Yes,
Is there going to be a working model available for us to look at to see how it actually functions on the screen?
Yes, right now we were sent a link. Aaron, Mike, and I believe Curtis, I sent you the link. You can look at it to see how it's going. We just kind of been giving feedback to James, getting it built up.
It's
So,
not fully functional,
It's
though.
not fully functional.
It gives you a good representation, but a lot of the links don't work, or they lead to.
If you're using logos, Oxford Township has changed their logo,
Correct.
just information.
Yeah. So I would let him know that. If you could send me a copy of the logo, just in case.
Or have it signed.
Have it sent to me. I will send it on to James. And I think, I've talked to Curtis too, that once we get the approved minutes, that the secretary, whoever that might be at the time, would automatically send a copy to James to automatically every month put those on our website. So we never have missing minutes or anything. They're always up to date as quickly as possible.
that's, what is it, a 1-year agreement, service agreement with them?
I believe it is. And then,
We
it's
just
like,
pay.
yeah, then we just pay next year. It's $850, I think it was.
Somewhere in that range.
Yeah, and then they do all the updates for us. We just send them the information and they do it.
So we'll plan on this being a June agenda item for, I don't know if we need approval or not, because we've approved the money,
We just want to see the product.
yeah, see the
We just want
product.
the product to show up. Yeah, and the links we've been sent so far, I think are very satisfactory. I think, Mike, you've made a couple comments that we've sent some information. I think you've made a couple of comments, Aaron. We've sent information. I've made lots of comments.
Oh, really?
Surprise,
It sounds like it's, ready to go.
yeah, we're getting very close, and it looks very nice. I'm quite impressed. It's a lot more user-friendly, and eventually, if we do, at some point, want to reduce the cost, take it over ourselves, I believe we can. I think it's just $850 is money well spent.
Yeah, I
We
believe so
don't-
too,
yeah.
with the amount of, manpower, employee power that we have to monitor something like that,
There's nobody to direct the cats in the room.
yeah. Okay, we'll look forward to that in June. Put that on the agenda again. Moving on to new business, item 9A, Cooperative Invasive Species Management Area, or SISMA update. Patrick, is it CNIF or?
I get both. Kenneth and Kenneth.
Yeah, okay. All right.
You can answer to anybody.
I answer to both. One
Okay.
of the pronunciations is American and one of them is like Irish. So I get them both.
I just think of the road CNIF down in Detroit, so that's why.
Yeah, distant relative probably.
But this is Patrick Kniff from SISMA, so the floor is yours.
All right, first I want to thank the council for having me out today. I really appreciate the opportunity. I can just go through what's going on with SISMA right now. Obviously, I am a new face here. So the SISMA has transitioned to Oakland County Parks. So previously it was under the fiduciary Six Rivers Land Conservancy. It's now fully transitioned to Oakland County Parks, including all grants and everything that goes along with that as of this month. So with that, I am the new Oakland County SISMA coordinator. I also have a larger role, the Natural Resources and Environmental Sustainability Outreach Coordinator. So Oakland County SISMA is part of that position. As you may know, Oakland County SISMA started in 2014. There's over 30 members at this point, CVTs, county agencies, land conservancies, nonprofits, and additional supporting partners. We work with CVTs and Road Commission for fragmites and outlet treatments, the right of ways for county roads as ongoing this year. We'll be working with the watershed councils in the area for red swamp crayfish surveys. We're wrapping up 2 grants for European frog bit survey and treatment. So that's just some of the work that's ongoing this summer. We're also doing some outreach with MDARD and USDA for spotted lanternfly. There's an infestation of this insect, which is the first occurrence in Michigan, in Oakland County, near Pontiac. So that's the first sighting that's happened. So that was last year. So that's ongoing, so we're going to do some additional outreach with some of the state resources.
Is that like an invasive insect or something?
Yeah, so it's an invasive insect. It's a sucking insect. Part of the impact is that it produces something that's called like honeydew. Like it excretes this sweet condensed version of what it eats, and then that can be cause for other affliction to plants, and it affects a lot of horticultural industry. So specialty products, grape, cherry, apple trees, other like fruit growers are especially impacted by its presence, but it does promote the opportunity for pathogens to infiltrate into other plants and trees. It may not kill them, but it does promote that affliction. So that's some of the impact. So that's some of the work that's going on this year. We also have the community project funds that come out of the millage for Oakland County. Last year, there were a buildup of funds, so as part of that, there were approximately $250,000 in community projects over the previous year. This year, it's $150,000 that's going towards community projects. That's ongoing, likely a sustained amount into the future. Polynesian Trail is the recipient of two of those projects. This is Cannon Lake and Powell Drag Treatment, as well as some bittersweet treatment at the historic location Scripps Mansion property. So those are just two of the projects of many projects going on this year. There's also the coordination of biocontrol purchase for purple loosestrife beetle, which is for the invasive plant purple loosestrife found in many wetlands and along the lake edges. That I'm doing a coordinated order with members. So all this work is due in part to memberships, and the members that attend our monthly meetings. Usually one person who's the host organization, that's a member, working together with all this representation in the county makes them most important and makes the impact more powerful because obviously these issues are not across, confined by municipal or other organizational boundaries. So I just want to take this time to urge the council to consider becoming a member of Oakland County SYSMA. There's no membership fee. It is just the signing of an MOU and adhering to bylaws and having a representative present at monthly meetings. So that's kind of an update. We're in the sorry?
Do you have a draft of the MOU?
So the MOU and bylaws are being revised over the next year. So at this point in time, I just want to let you know that that will be forthcoming, and I can update you all on that.
Yeah.
Once that.
Councilor Watley.
So many of the communities also represent members of SYSMA. So if we, Orion Township, were to go to a SYSMA meeting, could we do dual purpose? Like be there for Orion Township and also represent the Polynesian Trail at the same time? That way, Linda might not be committed to go to all these meetings, so we're going to send a representative. That way we can share the information.
Yeah.
You know how to answer right now.
Yeah, I can answer that. Yeah, I think that's possible. A member or alternates can be designated for that.
Yeah, I believe Oxford Township's part of SYSMA too.
Yes.
Go ahead, Councilor Knoll.
The programs that you mentioned, a lot of them will have impact within the different communities, townships. How do you coordinate, work those within the townships? If you come in and take care of Phragmites, or you come in and do something else, how is that communicated to the township and to the residents?
So that's an ongoing process. That's part of the reason why I was brought on for outreach and coordination. We're developing processes to make sure that communication is forthcoming, that education information is put out there. We're definitely open to, and I'm open to ways to improve that going forward. I want to make sure that people are aware of the work going on. I think a lot of the work that does happen, it's very visual. It's also a way to educate people and inform them of the reasons why some of this work is being done. So it's, at this point, there's no set process to inform people. I'd like to continue going forward and trying to set that. I think last year printed signage for community projects and we were able to set those out. So this year we're starting to do that again as just a start to that. But as part of this too, the Oakland County Parks website is being updated and there's opportunities to provide QR codes or links to additional information along with signage.
Thank you.
Okay, anything else, Patrick?
That's all. Just
That's
thank you
it?
for your time.
No, according to our trail manager's report, we're gonna be getting $5,500. 4,000 for the Powell Lake and then 1,500 for the Scripps. So when is that going to be happening? Do we have a schedule?
So that's currently being coordinated with the county contractors that will be coming out to do that work.
Now, will that entail closing the trail at any of those points?
I'm sorry?
Will it entail closing the trail?
Okay, I mean, we can communicate out exactly when that work is scheduled. It's not yet scheduled.
Okay, all right. Councilor Nold?
The Powell Lake, let's just take that as an example. Will you be notifying the people of the lake? Is it going to restrict the lake? Or how is that going to work?
I would defer to Linda exactly what her preference
Some of those
would
are
be.
pretty close. I don't know where exact spots.
The section that we were awarded is actually on the west side of the trail. It is not on the water side. It is on the land side. The Phragmites are on Pollyant Trail property. There is a homeowner here at 921 Tanview, the SISMA, they typically, once the permits are issued and they know they're gonna be working, they actually notify the homeowners, either with a hang tag, historically. I mean, that will probably change, but with a hang tag, they will notify them. If you have any questions, we're gonna be here treating this stand of Phragmites. If you have any questions, call. Let's take place during this time unless it rains. And that's how they've done it in the past. The contractors are insured. I mean, we don't do the work. We don't pay for the work. We don't get the money. SISMA does it all directly. We are just the recipient of the work. So they are insured. They do all of their own internal things. The contractors are vetted through the state and the county. So they're all very reputable companies that they use.
I'll add one thing. The ANC permit, the aquatic nuisance control permit, a requirement of that is to post notification of treatment as well.
Well, the only reason I bring it up is there's a lot of lakes in the area that have treatment schedules that are alternate. They're not the same for all the lakes. And it is another new group coming out and treating more things. I was going to be aware of that.
For your rights of way as the public rights, would you coordinate that with the road commission, Oakland County?
Road Commission helps fund some of that, but we do coordinate with them for times for them to stop mowing, so that Fred can grow to a certain length to be able to herbicide it.
Okay. All right. Vice Chair Rayfield?
I just wanted to step back just a little bit, and I agree with Aaron. It sounds like it needs to have, if you can't make it to meetings, somebody from Pollyanna needs to be at the meetings just to know what's going on and to know where you're gonna be. That's all.
You go to those meetings.
I attend as many meetings as I possibly can, through Zoom or in person. I find them very, very valuable. There's information out there, not just about treatment, schedules and different things, but the lantern flies and the spongy moths and, all of the other horrible things that are wandering around. But also you get a lot of information that's very good from other people that have had experience before you. So I like going to them.
Lots of
They're-
information.
They're a good group.
Do you have any cards, Patrick?
I do have a card.
Yeah, you can leave some with Linda or something that we can at least have something for reference. Anything further for Patrick, Council?
Thank you.
Yeah, if not, thanks for
thank
coming
you.
out, giving us an update on the program, and we'll look forward to getting some Phragmites treated here in the future.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thanks for your time.
It's a nice day out there. Excuse me.
All right, moving on, item 9B, 2023 DNR Spark Grant Program Resolution. This is a program grant that we're applying for. Kristen Wilfang's here. I don't know if Kristen, if you want to update, or I can continue what I know, and if I speak out of line, let me know.
Carry on.
Okay, well, what it is, it's a Spark Grant program. The council's applying for $1 million, of which we're going to be matching $100,000 if we get the matching grant monies. We just got word, we got the Community Foundation award of $50,000 for this, and we are applying for Oakland County Park last month for $25,000 of Pollyant Trail money. Actually, that's $100,000 of which is our money. We get that, and those funds will be used toward $100,000 match toward the $1 million, or 10%. So the grants are due the 26th of June, and the award will be announced in September. If there's something that will be successful, there's $23 million, I think, available.
So there's also several hundred grant applications out there.
Yeah, so we'll see how that goes. Vice Chair Brakefield.
Linda, how do you feel about the Oakland County Parks? I know it's pending. Is it real positive of getting the
Oh,
$25,000?
I don't see why we shouldn't get it. I mean, you know, we've got as much chance as anybody else.
Well, if we don't get it, where does that take us? We lose.
We keep knocking on doors and looking at other grant
We need
opportunities.
25,000, in other words, if it doesn't come up.
And I did apply for $25,000 from the nonprofit relief fund. So hopefully we should be hearing if we got some or all of that here shortly. And that is not federal dollars, it's been kind of whitewashed. So that's another 25 grand possible. Yeah.
But in front of council is the resolution for approval to move forward. So if council is inclined to want to apply for this grant, there is a proposed motion in the packet, or you can create your motion, or decide you don't want to pursue the $1 million opportunity. Any further questions or discussion before a motion's made? Hearing none, I will entertain a motion to move forward.
Looking for your motion.
Mr. Chair, did somebody else want to make it, or? I'd like to make the motion then to approve the resolution of support for an application to the 2023 DNR Spark Grant Program for funding of preliminary engineering and construction on the Pollyant Trail, with the Pollyant Trail committing the financial support required for the grant. That's, I threw that in there because usually they want the monetary commitment is what's important to them before they'll consider it, so.
Yeah. Okay, a motion by Secretary McDonald, second by Councilor Knoll, to proceed with the resolution. Any further comments, questions? If not, let's do a roll call on this, please.
Aaron Watley?
Yes.
Mr. Wright?
Yes.
Mr. Nold?
Yes.
Mike McDonald, yes. Ed Brakefield?
Yes.
Okay, motion carried.
All right, very, very good. So we'll get this signed, and the next step, Kristen, will be getting this over to you for this? All right. So, can this be signed, can he sign this right now? Can Secretary McDonald sign it? You can take it with you? All right, we'll do that. Let's take that out of the packet. I can reprint that. We just need to get a copy for file, with signature one and that. All right, moving on to the kiosk placement locations and policy. This was mentioned at our April meeting. Trail Manager Moran was looking for locations in each community to find out where to put these kiosks, and also to actually draft a policy for what goes in the kiosk and other information. Secretary McDonald handed out a draft policy for this. Nobody's looked at it at this time, but if this is something we want to review and bring back at the June meeting, we can definitely do so with your comments.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Because otherwise, we'd have a longer discussion than we need to at this point, because we can't change anything right now. So, but I'll leave it up to council if you want to go through this 9-page document now, or come back and discuss at the June meeting with pointed questions or comments.
Mr. Chair, I'd like to move this to the June meeting.
June meeting?
I see that, I've had a chance to go through a couple of pages and I see some good things, but I'd like to finish it off to make sure that,
Is that okay with council?
Yeah.
Move to June? Okay, so we'll do that, and that way there it'll be on the agenda. So Linda, don't let me forget that. So that one, but anyway, the locations, back to locations on that. I guess I'll send that out to Trail Manager Moran. Do you have preferable areas that you want to place these?
Well, one in each community. Milk Run is a given. So I'd like to put one in Orion. I'd like to put one in Oxford Township, the Village of Oxford, and the Village of Leonard. So it just kind of depends on each representative of those communities where they'd like to have these kiosks placed. So
Now, so my thought is, you've got the wayfinding signs, the
Yes.
big ones.
yes,
Would it be beneficial to have them side by side, so people stop, look, and then look at the map?
we
and
have
then-
22 of the wayfinder signs. So we only have 5 of these. So we
Okay.
just need to figure out where you want them. If you want them next to each other, that's fantastic. I don't care.
I'm just throwing out ideas.
Yeah, if you want to take, it's totally up to you where you want them. So, in Orion, coming in the future, I'd like to get some more of the 4-foot by 4-foot map signs, because Orion is kind of light. I'd like to see some at Green Shield, I'd like to see some at Scripps Road, I'd like to see some at the new trail connector from the Orion Township offices. I'd like to see one there, because people that are coming from the Township Hall, they walk down this beautiful new trail to the Pollyant Trail. Where are they? They don't know where they are. I'd like to get a sign out there. So,
Your original thought was to have 5, which we have.
Right.
We have 5. Now, are you talking to get more in the future?
possibly in the future, maybe not. I mean, how many signs do we really need? If you hit one in each community, you're good. I mean, I think we roll with 5, and then if there is a need, or they work out well, then maybe we add to them. Or put them on our sponsorship program, where people, if they want to sponsor something other than a picnic table, or a trash can, or a bench, they can sponsor kiosks.
Councilman Roll?
the only thought that I have, the more we put out in each community, the more we have to maintain and keep information on those.
Exactly.
I
That's
think if
why.
you start off with 5, that's plenty.
See how it goes.
See how it goes and then branch off into that. So I wouldn't be too eager to go out and get sponsorships quite yet. Just an idea.
No, on these kiosks as well, we paid, it's in the door on there, $800 a piece.
Right.
And supposedly they're gonna be all donations and all that. So when are those monies gonna be reimbursed?
We've already received one from Bennett Roofing and Construction. I owe you a check, which I'll write you a check. Then the Boy Scout is working on his money. Orion Township is purchasing one. Okay, so we're gonna invoice Orion Township, and then the one that our Girl Scout donated with her residual funds. So we'll
All
just,
right, so we're in Township, then Moran Services, Jaden Ebeling, Girl Scout, what's the last one?
Bennett Construction.
Okay, so
Yeah.
they are covered as
Yeah,
far
we're all covered. Everything's, and Bennett's already paid for, so we're just waiting for Jaden to, our Boy Scout to,
He was
Circle
going,
wagons out.
he was going to construct or put those in place, all of them, correct?
Correct. He's buying one, but installing the 5.
But we need to keep contact with Jaden.
Yes. So he's behind the scenes doing the fundraising to get his money together, and then.
But Jay, you have the kiosks, we have those already, so it might behoove us to not wait for Jaden or
Right. we
have
could-
Jaden
we
do the other 4 till he can get the one done he's
Right.
ordered.
Yeah. We just need to know where to put them, because right now, even if we get a volunteer or he shows up and says, hey, I got time to put 1 or 2 in, I need to know where they go.
And that'd be a decision of councils, not of boards or councils, correct? I mean, you wouldn't need yours with Leonard Village Council to determine, you could decide it here, Secretary McDonald? Yeah. So,
Probably.
so Councilor Noel and myself could determine where we're gonna put this in Oxford Township. And you in Oxford Township too, Linda, you could weigh in where we need it to go. And Addison's already spoken for it, Mill Run. And then Eric can speak, Aaron and Matt could speak for that in Orion. Okay, all right. So it sounds like we are underway, we just have to find location.
We just gotta get the time and get all the ducks in a row.
Where are they stored?
In the police garage in the village.
Okay. All right.
So we did purchase some in there.
Yes, because there was going to be a significant price increase, so we didn't want to,
Any need for Keith Potter to know we have those?
no, because
Okay.
it's just more of the same.
All right. All right. Secretary McDonald?
Not to slow things down, and I'll be brief.
That's
but
okay.
I'd just like to say that the draft policies that you got today, there are blanks and there are dimensional information as well as the location information. So I would appreciate it if you would review it and give me some feedback, changes, additions, whatever. And hopefully we can have something approvable, able to be approved at our next meeting. Thanks.
Yeah, sounds good.
I'm just a little unclear. We went ahead and purchased the signs because it was good management of the funds. We have the signs waiting. What are the next steps that are going to be taken before they're in the ground?
Well, Jake has to get his money together, I have to pay and the sort of things. Then we will have to get the building permits from each of the townships or villages. And then in Orion, we'll get a building permit. Then they have to take it to the township board to get the fees waived, because we don't pay for the fees, but we have to go to their township to have them waived. It's just an administrative thing. And the same
So you're talking July before anything could be in the ground easy?
Yeah, yeah.
We don't waive fees in Oxford. We don't?
No.
We don't, we send a precedence if we do. So this is zero.
Well, maybe I'll put it right on the board.
Well, that was my next question.
Councilor Noel has different ideas.
I'm
He's
just
got
saying,
equal vote as I
is
do.
money set aside include money for the building permit fees?
I'm just gonna say that will be the first time I will have ever had to pay fees.
I'm just telling you, there was some fees waived on other projects in Oxford that didn't pan out very well.
Okay.
So,
Maybe Addison should be fees.
Well, here's the deal, I've talked to the building department in Addison, and because it's Michigan Department of Natural Resource Property, they don't deal with that. Don't even ask them about
We're
it.
going to put that on next month's motion to have.
They don't want to know about it, it's not their property, it's state.
Would that follow suit for the other communities as well?
so
That takes care of, Mr. Curtis can retract his, we don't.
yeah, it could be proven wrong, which is not hard to do.
The only kiosk that is going onto possibly property that is not owned by the Pollyant Trailway Management Council or the DNR would be Orion. Orion owns that section, so they would have to be.
If that's the case, you're good with that.
Yeah. see,
Might I suggest we do our homework and do it right one time?
It might help.
Listen, you can ask Mrs. Tammy. I always get her permits. I think I've given her a blank
Okay.
once or twice.
All right. We'll do it that when that comes up.
We'll work on that.
Okay.
That's gonna be an ongoing summer project. I hope to see it to fruition by fall. So, I mean, it's not.
Is there anything more on kiosk or policy? Moving on, public comment. Kristen, any to comment? Okay, if not,
Yeah, Kristen, boy, she's got to keep quiet. Huh?
council member comments. We'll go with Councilor Nold.
I have no comment.
No comments. Secretary McDonald.
Thanks for coming to Leonard for the meeting today. Beautiful day. You're welcome. But no, thank you, everybody. It's a good meeting.
Councilor Watley.
Leonard's beautiful, and Addison's wonderful as well, so it's always a nice cruise out here. Keep up the good work.
Vice Chair Brakefield.
A couple of comments. First, thank you, Mike, working together, working on this thing. Kiosk location's a lot of work, and looks like it's a very good. I'm looking forward to reading it. Number two, is it too late to make a motion or vote for a trail manager's vacation? Deny it?
I second.
Okay, thank you. Other than that,
All right, I am going to give the floor to Trail Manager Moran, then I'm going to wrap up.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna be gone for the 10 days. Curtis has the phone, Curtis has the keys. If you have any problems, Curtis is the man. Curtis is gonna have the trash bags, you know, the whole deal, so he's the.
Did you get him a sticker to the side of his car?
Oh,
Little
yeah.
stickers for the keys.
Yeah.
Thanks.
What? What are you thinking? I'm leaving tomorrow for 10 days. Why? On the computer.
So he,
don't say you're going to the Ukraine. Don't even go there.
It's gotta be better than my last trip. No, I'm going to Rhode Island, Massachusetts, and New Hampshire.
Stay in America.
And I'm going to be drinking martinis and eating lobster. I also want to say that the Wade Sullivan ride was on Saturday. We had over 100 riders. We had well over 100 attendees. People came that weren't riding just to cheer the crowd on. They raised $8,629 in one day with more money coming. And I talked to Mike about it. I don't care. You remember those signs that we had, the 4 foot by 4 foot little map signs, and we had them cut down to the lower Michigan, and they were really cool? One of the guys, Pat, saw that and said, we should take one of those and try to sell it. We took it, we had a little silent auction going there. $500 was raised on that one sign. We have a request for 2 more. So we're gonna, I don't know how you feel on that. We've more than covered our costs on selling the other, I think 14 signs. We made $1,400 on the other signs we sold. I do have 10, well now 9 of those slower map signs. So I don't know if you want me to,
I'll make a motion to authorize the trail
Yeah.
manager to release 2 signs on the condition that they be auctioned and that the funding would benefit the Pollyant Trail.
Okay, motion by Secretary McDonald to authorize the trail manager to, what are you doing, getting 2 more signs?
I think 2 more signs. I think they're gonna auction them off at the boathouse. I'm not sure if they're gonna buy them outright or if they're gonna auction them off. You know, they love those signs. They're really cool.
So to purchase 2 more signs for auction purposes to benefit the Pollyant Trail with the proceeds. Okay. Motion by Secretary McDonald, second by Councilor Watley. Councilor Knoll.
For discussion, do we need to have another motion to authorize you to sell the first one?
Yeah, probably. No, actually, I did have authorization to sell those way back when. Yeah, many moons ago. I could sell them, you know.
So long we're good?
Yeah. So I cut them down. Instead of having 5, we had 10. And so they've been sitting around the office for a long time, taking up space. So
Cost to buy the signs, estimate?
the cost to have them made.
Yeah, you gotta make them to sell them or to auction them, right?
I think we did all 10 for like $300 or something like that. I don't remember. I mean, it was cheap. It was no money. So the benefit, if we sell them for a couple $100 a piece, we're still going to get more money than we would have if we had left them uncut. Because now we have 10 instead of 5.
So what's gonna be the process? Well, yeah, let's keep discussing it. What's the process? Okay, we approve this motion. What?
They're going to pick up 2 signs and they're going to take them and auction them off at the boathouse. They're going to give me a check.
How are you gonna auction? On the website, Facebook?
I think it's going to be at a boathouse, like in one of their, dinner auction things that they do. Knowing those guys who can set them up on the table and say, see those signs? They're auctioning them off. Last one sold for $500. You cheapskates. We want more than $500.
Shall,
And we'll just,
Mr. Chair,
the checks will come to us.
Councilor
it'd
Knoll.
be wise to order some more and set them in the back part of the office and let them become vintaged and sell those next year or the year.
It might be a good idea. No, I still have 9. Still have 9 of the cut down Lower Michigan silhouettes.
Is that what you're auctioning off?
Yeah, the Lower Michigan cutout.
So if they have 9, why do we need 2 more?
No. I have 9. They want 2 more.
Oh, they want 2
I
more.
had 10. They sold one for $500. They want 2
She
more.
doesn't want to buy anymore. She
No.
just wants to sell those ones.
I
We
just
have
want to sell
no
the stuff we
metal
got.
signs.
Okay.
Yeah, we just want to sell the stuff we have.
Existing, okay.
Yes. I don't want
Okay.
any more, I want less.
All right, so we'll do a roll call on the motion because it's money expenditure.
All right. Mr. Nold,
Yes.
McDonald, yes. Mr. Brakefield,
Yes.
Mr. Wiley,
Yes.
motion carried.
I'll vote yes
Oh,
too.
I'm sorry.
Mr. Curtis.
All but Mr.
I'll vote yes too.
Apologies, Curtis.
Is it-
Something for a share.
Oh,
All opposed, same sign. Right? Okay, so there you go. So you proceed on with your ordering or whoever you go through to get your signs and then do the auctioning process and hopefully it garners money
Want
like
less
it did.
stuff in the police garage.
Linda, thank you for moving our signs along.
Yeah, no problem. That's it, so.
That's all? Okay, council, in front of you, I did a handout to give you some updates on items that are happening and also some monetary issues facing the council. So I titled it Pollyant Trailway Management Council Items. The kiosks were in motion there. The ordinance consistency, that's been brought up several times. Linda, are we going to let that die?
We're gonna work on it
You
after
gonna
the
work on that?
Sparks
Okay, okay. Okay, so that
Kristen and I are still live come fall time, we're gonna talk about it in the fall.
Sparks grant, that we talked about that. Hopefully, considering this website's up and running, we can give Bradley Glonka a thank you for the service by the end of June, I would imagine, if not earlier. Rotary Park maintenance, that's become a Pollyant Trail maintenance issue. So evidently, that's something that I think Rotary needs to step up and do their job. So is that something that needs to be talked to them on? Because how many hours are you spending with doing that?
Actually, this spring, probably about 4 so far this spring. I've tried to make it as maintenance-free as possible by putting down plastic and perennials. It's probably going to be about a 20-hour a summer maintenance.
Okay, well, I'll leave that to you
Yeah.
because that's something that wasn't the intention when this was all approved to let them go ahead and do their garden or whatever it is. So,
I will try and get them motivated.
yeah, because that's time away from you
Yeah.
at the services that you perform for us. DIA, you mentioned, Linda, you're gonna try to get that to the Oxford DDA to take that on?
Well, the Oxford DDA contacted me about possibly enrolling this fall into being one of their sites. The DDA, or the DIA, is kind of difficult to get a hold of. I haven't tried here recently, but they had a change of the person who takes care of that.
Do you want that?
I'm not
continue?
really interested in it for the next couple of years. We've had it
All
several
right, so that'll
times.
come off.
Yeah, and it's just, once in a while is good, but if we do it every year, it kind of loses its pizzazz, you know?
Okay, so that's
Make people
out of
miss
here.
it first.
That's a reminder, Daniel Zubak and Christopher Knights are still DNR conservation officers, to our knowledge. The Oznumber issues, that's been an ongoing issue up in Addison Township. It's pretty dormant right now, correct?
For the moment, yes.
Do you have any issues, Secretary McDonald, with them? Or even,
Yeah, I put a note down here, call Linda and find out what's going on, I'm not sure.
I don't know either, but I know you've had issues with them before, and what did he want? He wanted something down, or you're cutting trees down, blocking their view or something, that was an issue?
No, we were cutting trees and brush around the gas line, the consumer's gas line. And he didn't like that because it was clear cutting around that gas line. Well, we were clear cutting around the gas line because we didn't want our big mowers to hit this gas pipe that sticks up like a candy cane.
Yeah.
Yeah.
test pipe or something.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And it was very, very
Very.
bad spot.
Very.
For being able to widen push the vegetation back. So we really did clean it up.
yeah.
And apparently he objected to that. We didn't mention to him that he's got a bunch of hay and debris piled on the trail property, adjacent to the fence. So it's gonna be, I think that's just one of those situations, it's always going to be something.
Ongoing,
Yeah.
whatever it might be.
ITC is going to be going up there this summer to do some vegetation killing, removal. They have mentioned that they have had problems with him in the past. You know, it's just an ongoing issue, it just depends on the day and depends on what's going on there. I mean, you know,
Okay, well,
it's
we'll
just what it is, you know?
continue to monitor that. If there becomes an issue, then
Yeah.
we'll take the next step. Talked about the website. Todd Pollard, from my understanding now, that's between Todd Pollard and the DNR. We're
Yes.
totally out of this. We've done what we
Yes.
need to do, and the DNR will let us know
Their
if
decision,
there's an issue that
correct,
he gets an easement or not.
correct. It's on.
You think
every-
that they'll have an answer to him by the end of the year?
No, it'll be next year, at least,
Okay.
maybe next summer.
All right.
It's on the desk, it's under review. I don't anticipate anything till '24.
And you've been ongoing with the low-hanging wires of the Larry O'Brien Bridge, finding out it's AT&T and/or Spectrum, can't get a hold of anybody.
They
So-
have raised them. I was by there the other day, they are up a bit. So they're not
Up a
as, yeah, probably about 3 feet.
All right.
So, I mean, it's okay for now until the next time.
The clearance is what, 8 feet now, maybe?
Yeah, maybe.
Feet.
Yeah.
So, I mean, Councilor Wild, you probably got an idea from Parks and Rec standards of,
Yeah.
is that an adequate amount of clearance?
I mean, I thought it was over roadways and, it's 16 feet.
60 feet?
Yeah.
I think we're required to have 14 feet on a trail, minimum, yeah.
Yeah. It's not, but right now it's high enough that somebody on a bicycle won't be knocked off their bicycle. Before I had caution tape up there because I could stand under it, it was almost touching my head. I'm only 5'3". I mean, you know, I'm not, and it was resting on the roof of the garage or the building next to the bridge. So it has been raised, it is higher. I've had the village call and complain, I mean,
We could try our government relations
Yeah.
representative.
yeah.
Maybe we should.
If it's a big concern, then.
I'm just
don't-
concerned
somebody's
about
notified.
kids that use the bridge trying to Superman down that, you know, like grabbing on and Superman downing. I can just see that happening, you know, and hanging off of it.
Yeah.
I don't know how electrified it is. I don't think that's really the
Usually they're
point.
not, that's where the low hanging ones.
Yeah, I just don't
Your
want,
electricals are higher.
yeah, I just don't want somebody being a kid and killing themselves, you know? And we are aware of it and we've been trying to
Okay.
fix it.
So that, then,
I
don't
will
know.
call them again.
who contacts you have or not, I don't know if I can reach out to anybody on that as well. Dumping on the trail, you've given me 2 addresses, Linda, Division Street and Joslin Road, which is right in Aaron's front yard there. Any place else as of right now?
Not at this point. It's on Joslin, it's right behind Joslin. It's that house that we're aware of, dumping long distance, yeah. We're aware of it on Joslin.
And
54 Division Street, I did talk to the chief of police today about that. So I did give the violator 10 days to clean it up. So that won't happen until I'm midway through my vacation, so when I come back.
is that enforcing the ordinances of the village?
That's just, yeah, that's the ordinance in the village, so I can have Dan go out there if it's not cleaned up.
All right.
I also have, he is a renter, so I also have the name of the landlord. So if we did want to go there, we could make a formal complaint to the landlord. So,
All right. Just another thought, we used to have sponsors on the trail for Adopt a Trail. Is that something that we could or should entertain again? That you always have these events coming out where people want to volunteer for a day, but if you sign them up, they can pick their own day as long as they notify us.
the problem with that is, the agreements we used to have for Adopt a Trail program was a 3-year agreement. Everybody's gung ho the first year, maybe the spring and the summer, and the next year, and then you never see them again.
It's just another layer of management.
Just
on your
another
part.
layer, yeah.
Okay.
So I say we just have groups like, we had DTE come out. DTE did a great job. We had a blast. We had lunch. It was We had a good time.
You're having Home Depot scheduled for June 22nd, you said.
Correct, yeah. And we're gonna go from Clarkston, we're gonna head south on the trail.
Clarkston South.
Yeah,
Okay.
and we're gonna be a big group. I think we're gonna have like 12 to 14 people. So it's gonna be great. It's gonna be good.
So you indicated to me that ITC's brush clearing in June at Boardman Road.
Yes.
Is that still gonna happen? in June?
Yes.
That's Mike Stevens,
No, it's Jimmy
Jimmy Moss,
Moss.
Jimmy Moss.
Yeah, Jimmy Moss is taking over for Mike Stevens. So
All
I've talked to Jimmy. It'll be in June. It's just basically summer trimming, keeping the lines clear, that sort of thing.
In their jurisdiction.
Sorry?
In their jurisdiction.
In their
as far as-
jurisdiction, correct.
Okay, and then you also indicated that you found a new donor of items that you
Lovely things.
like.
All things
Survey
lovely.
Construction is
Yeah.
donating culverts, bricks, wood.
Anything we want. It's a pigger's paradise out there. So I need some bricks for constructions, for Boy Scout projects and different things. They have all we need, take whatever we want.
Okay.
So,
These-
Ask me.
These may relate to Kristen more than you, Linda, but our master plan is updated through 2025. When should we start looking at the next round? 'Cause it took us what?
Not right now.
It took us about, what, a year to get the one in place?
Yeah, there was a lot of corrections we had to do, right? It was a mess. We had to fix
But
it.
you're looking at, how big's the document? 150 pages. Maybe it's just cut and paste updated
Yeah.
items in there.
We got a
Different
whole
council
lot of-
members. Okay,
I got a couple other not we're gonna get to first.
Okay.
Not right now.
okay. My next one is, do we need an agreement with the Village of Leonard on the Oakland County if we get that grant? Do we need to sign?
If the grant is awarded, we can draw something up.
Okay. So just want to make sure on that. Then with the community foundation that we just received, we have to do reporting on that as far as when or whatever the monies are expended on.
I believe it's at the end of the grant.
End of the grant?
Final,
And then
look at the-
Yeah, that's a condition of the
I think it's
grant,
just a final
right.
report.
and then it indicates that the expiration date is May 31 of 2024. So we will need to go out and get an engineering design completed by that date, correct? So the monies are still valid?
Correct, or we could request an extension, I believe.
Oh, we can? Okay. Okay, well, hopefully we don't have to. Because if we don't get the Parks grant and we don't get the Spark grant, then we're on the line for $50,000.
We need to find some additional funds.
Okay, all right, well, maybe not. We'll get to that. Let's see here. Crossing signals, are they working or not?
They are working. They're working for now. We'll see how long they continue to work. They work for like 2 weeks, they don't work. They work for 2 weeks, they don't work. So I have called the road commission. They've ordered parts.
Yeah, we should note that because if they're not working, we shouldn't be paying. We pay what, $1,600 a year or something for those?
Whenever they do annual maintenance or they
They're
do
pretty
repairs,
expensive.
they
No.
send us a bill. I think the last bill was
I
$1,600.
don't think it was too.
And they did not fix them. They did order parts that had to come back. They never call me when they come out and put in the parts. I either A, see them, or B, they just miraculously start working again. So the assumption is they've been out and fixed them.
Yeah, there's a liability waiting to happen.
I know. And, you know, I call them, I pester them, I have, you know, confirmation numbers for orders for parts and things, and, you know, it's just, I'm constantly chasing them. You know, it's like I get a call, the lights aren't working, I call them, you know, it's a constant chasing.
All right, the next page is council is, I labeled it, money items. And in there, I also put together the council budget for 2022 activity. That's been recorded in our BSNA system, so it's an unaudited number. But if you look at that sheet on the budget there, all things being equal, our fund balance will be reduced from 111,000 plus to a little over 92,000 plus. And then our projected fund balance of the $80,000 budget we just approved, fund balance will be reduced $4,700 more. So with all that, we would have $176,000 at the end of this year, of which we designated as $88,000 of assigned monies, which was the Oxford Township and the Addison Township ARPA money allocations for the trail resurfacing and other items, and the other 8,000 plus is the donations on there. So that's a little snapshot of what we're looking at right now for our money flow. So backing up to the spreadsheet there that I put together, Linda went out and solicited quotes for seal coating. She got back one from A&R Seal Coating to do the crack filling for $3,000 for 1,200 feet of crack filling. And if you want the whole trail from Drainer Road to Pleasant Street, is it Pleasant Street or Log Street? Pleasant Street. The quote came in at $16,800. That's what
Total of 19 with the crack.
Total of 19. Yeah, I got that. Yeah, so those numbers are right, so,
I'm still looking for another quote or two.
I have a source if you want to.
Yeah, because I just think that,
so it's not necessarily we need every crack filled, but if that's something that we should determine whether or not, number one, do we want to do it? And number two, if we do, how much of it? And that's monies that'll come out of the budgeted monies here. So once you get those back, Linda, hopefully we can put that on the June agenda. On that, we approved bridge signs and stop signs. We've got them paid for, correct?
they're all paid for, yeah.
Yep.
I just gotta get them installed.
Get installed. Next one is Urban Habitat. His contract expires this year. We did the third-year option. We're waiting for monies to come back from him, or a quote to come back from him. So with that in mind, we do 3 mows a year.
3 professional, yes, with an option of a 4th, so need to.
So consider that, potentially the price could go up on that to come out of our budgeting. We approve your $1,000 for material. That's enough money, right, Linda?
$1,000, yes.
Yep, and you'll get on that this year. Aaron, big thank you to you on the water depot for the restroom. ARPA monies have covered all that. As far as I know, there's no outflow from Pollyant Trail on this, so that's a huge, huge plus for the council.
Township board. Not me, township board.
Yeah, well, we're the conduit, so township board too. Thank you to them. Bob Brooks, brush cutting agreement, that's open-ended?
Open-ended at this point, yes.
There's a typo in there, I put $55 a month, it's actually $55 an hour, not to exceed 10 hours a month. Is that pretty much his average, or is there more needed? I would think that.
No, we're doing really well with that. This spring, it was a struggle just to get the 10 hours a month in because of the weather and different things. So I think that's adequate. I think it's adequate for now.
Your needing to chip is reducing.
Yes,
Quite a bit.
we are rapidly, I mean, there's always a dead tree, there's always something going on with the chipping. But as we're moving down the trail, we are going to be in Orion here shortly. And Orion we've got 2 miles of Orion that has never been touched before. And the glossy buckthorn in Orion is epic. I mean, I've never seen buckthorn trunks as big as this stuff. It's
We do it right in order.
yeah, it's big buckthorn out there. They don't have, I
You're
mean,
gonna use the bucket truck like you wanted to?
no, we'll slug through it, but we haven't cracked into that yet. So most of our summer is going to be, in fall, winter is going to be spent in Oregon, just slugging away, doing exactly what we've been doing in Addison and Oxford and Leonard. So
When's the last time you've worked with Mr. Brooks?
Monday?
Monday, so it's been quite
Yeah.
recent.
Oh yeah. No, that was last Thursday. Sorry, last Thursday.
Because I don't know, is he submitting his invoices?
Oh yeah, I've already submitted one.
Okay. $350 a month for equipment, gas, and all that.
Yeah, it's a steal. I mean,
I'm not arguing the
Well, I know,
amount,
but it's
just
just-
to make sure that he's getting paid.
he's getting paid. He submits the invoices, I give them to Joe, Joe pays them.
Now, as far as the next one for David Vandenberg, he did the cutting on the trail, and he did it in 7 days for, $11,200 or whatever it was. But is that something that could be could he do that work as opposed to Urban Habitat? And do you want him
He
to?
does not have the mowing equipment, he just has the brush cutting equipment. The problem we have with him going down the trail like midsummer, 3 times a year, he's gonna charge us $1,600 a day, it's probably gonna take him 2 days to mow
Right.
it. So instead of paying $750 a mow, we're gonna be paying $3,200 for a mow, and it's not grass, you know, he's knocking back. He can't do the fine cutting like Urban Habitat or Andrew and I can do. You know, he's more of a broad stroke guy, more of a finesse. He won't trim around things, that kind of stuff, like Urban Habitat.
So, to flip it, could Urban Habitat do what
No,
David Hanford does? So we need them both if we
Yeah.
want to.
Are we gonna have him again this year?
I'm gonna see how the season grows, and, you know, with the work that Bob and Kip and I and the gang have been doing out there, we may be able to do it like every other year, or split it up. Do half the trail one year, half the trail the next year. We may not have to do the whole trail all the time. But I
'Cause
would,
that's kind of where he was going when he
Yeah.
made his presentation was,
Yeah.
I'll hit it hard this time around.
yeah,
We shouldn't have to do as much.
next time. You know, there's always that small brushy thing, it just depends on
Okay.
how much we can really kind of push on it this summer,
Okay.
and how fast stuff grows.
Thank you.
You'll be seeing that probably within the next month if you
Yeah.
haven't seen it
By the
already.
end of June, I'll know exactly what we're standing. Yeah.
We talked about the Oakland County Parks grant, Spark grant, DNR grant, so potentially we're on the hook for $50,000 potentially. So think about that, if the money's on the fund balance as well.
I hope we have to
Shoemaker,
I hope we have to spend it.
Oh, me
I mean, I hope we get it.
I hope we get it, you definitely do.
Yeah.
Shoemaker, we still owe them the money, they have not
They have not
built
invoiced
built
us.
it, so it's another hit on the budget. Linda thought she wanted to feed Home Depot workers, so she wants $200, so I told her that I can administratively approve that.
Part of the deal is them sending the crew out to work on the trails, we buy them lunch. Buy a lunch on June 22nd. Came out and worked on the trail, we got a lunch. So they raved about my pulled pork. I'm just gonna say,
You want some council members there as well?
yeah, it'd be fun. Yeah, well,
Free lunch.
Orient Parks and Rec lined up, they like that. They like the pulled pork, so it worked. So,
They're good team players.
yeah, even one of the old senior citizens stuck around for a second helping, so.
They'll come out of any closet. It's wild.
I know, it's like, food, yeah,
Are they working?
yeah,
No, not at all.
Oh,
I mean, they're working on getting free food.
yeah.
Yeah, when's the lunch? We'll show up at 11.
Well, don't bring your friends next time, okay?
Well, I had it heating up in the kitchen, you know, staying warm, and the Meals on Wheels lady said everybody was coming in and going, "Is that what we're having for lunch?" And she's like, "No, that's not for us." And they're like, "Oh."
So you found paint for the Larry O'Brien Bridge for the graffiti, so you said it was spray on. I was wondering if you could get the
The can,
gallons.
no. If it's large areas, I'm just gonna get the epoxy roll-on, that works better. But for little tiny like arrows and boobs and whatever we get on there, spray can works just fine. You know, but any large area, we're gonna have to use the gallon.
You found that at TSC, you said? Right. All right. Map signs, we talked about those. Also, Linda, John, you don't know this, but we're going to see the Linda Corral after the meeting
Yeah.
to see what repairs. So this will be a June agenda item to request funding for that as of right now.
For the ground, we're gonna go look at the ground, see what we need to fix it up.
Yeah, but Linda has a different impression of it than I think it's in pretty good repair personally.
Oh, okay, well.
But, you know, Ed and I have had horses. I mean, it's not a permanent structure,
No.
but I think it'll keep most horses that aren't gonna have a problem with it. I mean, you never know.
You know,
But-
I want it pretty. I want it-
Maybe we'll cancel that visit, John.
No, you're gonna go out there because you need to take a look at it.
All right.
Well, send a note out when you go, so.
Monday is when we can go look at it.
Okay. Yeah, it's shameful shape.
We can all adjourn and go look at it.
All right.
And then I broke down into some pending receipt, the ongoing verbal pledge on June 16, 2021, because I looked it up in our minutes of the $8,000. Wojo's fundraiser, we don't know how much that's going to be because it's, again, Monday, June 5th. And I put it pending because we had to keep our notification silent. But now it's official. And then there's a couple of receipts that we actually took in as the beverage container drive and the Kroger Community Award. So if you're not signed up at Kroger to donate, we have Papalian Trail on there. What else do I have here? Let's see if I got anything else. I think that's more than enough for council. Oh, you wanted 2 more signs, Linda, at
I haven't gotten into
Green
the
Shield.
Yeah, I want to get map signs at Green Shield, Scripps, and by where the trail meets. I haven't gotten a price. It's just something I thought I would bring up that potentially maybe this summer we look at getting some prices and thinking about it. Orion's light. Everybody else, I mean, Curtis Road's got 2 signs, Roland's got a sign, but Orion has no signage down there. I mean, I put one down in there at Joslin. There's one by the soccer fields, but they need some more signs. It's getting really busy down there. We need to get some decent signs up there.
Curtis?
Yes.
I did want to say one thing about, the $50,000 shortfall that we might have. Orion is putting money towards resurfacing the trail, whether it goes towards resurfacing the trail or designing to resurface the trail. I feel confident that the board would feel the same way, that that's irrelevant. The work is the work, so
Yeah.
we'll be able to cover the cost.
Yeah, no, that's a good point, because you brought that up last month as well, for the outreach, so that's definitely appreciated to have that backup, so to speak, if need be. But-
Should I be sending this to this year?
Yeah, there again,
I didn't see that on here. They're usually pretty generous with, Schneider is.
no, and
I haven't gotten it yet.
I can only think of so many things to bring out.
Can I
So,
make one final comment on the map thing. Linda's been looking at strategies, maybe moving signs around rather than getting additional signs for the maps, but I'm going to say it out loud. I think getting the new signs, even at some expense, is a better idea than removing signs, especially since we're light anyways. So that's my thought on that. I think we should be prepared to dig deep and
I just, I'm trying to get everybody the same coverage, signage, benches, garbage, so everybody has an equal share of what's going on. And, Orion's always been light, so we've been working really hard to bring Orion up. Addison was always light. Addison and the village, I think, are in great shape now. Oxford Township's in great shape, and the village is fantastic. So Orion's on the docket, man. Watch out.
We're okay. Take care of it.
there was a time when Orion was,
Yeah, ebbs and flows.
yeah.
Yeah, so we're just kind of shaking stuff, moving things around, moving stuff. And I'll be excited when I come back from my vacation, after my 30-day stint at Betty Ford, after my vacation, I'll be ready to go.
all right, that's more than enough comments you probably wanted to hear, but I brought them out anyway. So if there's nothing else on the agenda to discuss, last chance, if now, entertain a motion to adjourn at 4:11.
I'll second.
A motion by Counselor Wiley, second by Vice Chair Brakefield to adjourn the meeting at 4:11 PM. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Meeting is adjourned. Thank you.